walking cardio. I'm not going to do any, I don't know, I might jog, I may not. I already did a squats, I did 100 squats, I did arm reps at home. So now I'm here at the gym. Let's get my cardio. I will talk to you all later. You're like a robot. Alright guys, this is me working out, battling chronic diseases and chronic illnesses, particularly lupus SLE, with connective tissue disease, vasovagal syncope, which are the two most aggressive ones. They cause rheumatoid arthritis. And I also have nerve damage from car accident, and my CD, cervical disc, or messed up. I have several messed up in my neck and in my back. So I only have this on like 30 pounds because when you work out and you have back issues and you have disabilities, you don't want to overexert yourself, but at the same time you don't want to, they ain't gonna pump either. So this is where I have it set on. And the machine that I'm on right now, let me show you guys this machine that I'm on. So I do this to do my arm pulls, tone up for funny here. My underarm is also to strengthen my shoulder blade, my upper back blade, okay? And then it also stretches from the line in here in your waist, okay? So here we go. So guys, we actually did a lot of my floor workouts and routines at home, especially like with the, gotta take care with the dumbbells, my squats, my Pilates. Hey, how are you doing? We do those at home because I'm not trying to get on the gym floor. Too much traffic, even with the mats, it's just too much traffic back and forth on that floor. So as for me, I prefer to do any floor exercises from at home, and then you come here for the weights and for cardio. And I really don't even have to come here for cardio. I can get my cardio on the street, which I like. I like to be outside in the natural doing my cardio anyway. So I switch it up. I do some of everything. I do some at home, then we do home, we do here at the gym, and we also do on the street. It's always good to combine them because like how the pandemic happened, and a lot of people who were just hooked on going to the supposedly gym was dead, like they didn't know what to do because they couldn't go to the gym. I'm like, there's so many options that you have, that you can work out at home and on your and walking up your street in your community. But when people are not used to that, they get lost, they get stuck, they get lost because they have a routine down pat. They're like, all right, go to the gym. This is how many replica sets I'm gonna do, reps, blah, blah, blah. They have everything set in place. They got their routine. So when something happens that throws their routine off course, they be like they're stuck, like a duck. Now ducks, they get the hell on, but you know what I'm saying. You know how a duck just sit on the nest and they act like they just stuck there. That's how some people act when they realize they don't have a gym to work out. So a lot of people gain weight behind that But it's a struggle battling chronic illness and diseases, and working outwardly is really, for me, it all depends on how bad they are for you. To each his or her own, because everybody's body is different. But for me, it's more of a challenge. And not only that, me grieving, because it haven't been that long ago since I lost my mom. I can't believe it's already November. She passed away in July of this year, and it seemed like she just literally passed away. It doesn't even seem like it's been since July. It seems like it literally just happened. And so we're still grieving and fighting depression and anxiety. And in the course of fighting depression and anxiety, is haven't had the strength or even been able to have the willpower to push through. People say, oh, push through. It's easier said than done. Everybody don't just push through like that easily, when they going through stuff. And, there's other things that people may be going through and dealing with too. It's not that easy. And it's not that they're being negative or they trying to speak, or they focus on negativity, or anything of that nature. They're just being realistic. And a lot of people, for some reason, do not like for people to be realistic when they talk about their struggles, and they talk about their pains, and they talk about their weaknesses, and they talk about, the things, their challenges. This is a part of life. Life is not always a bed of roses. It isn't, in spite of what, even when you go through things and cope the best way you know how and how you can, regardless of what anybody may feel or think about it. That's their opinion, and they're entitled to it. But just because it's their opinion doesn't make it valid. And you don't have to feel guilty or feel bad. And that's something I don't like, when people try to make me feel guilty or feel bad about coping. And not just coping, but how I am coping, with everything that I've been dealing with. Because it's much deeper than just what's on the surface. It's so much deeper than I can even explain. So for me, it's, things haven't just been that easy. And then I was in I went through a situation in a relationship, so much emotional and psychological abuse from a very narcissistic person. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies. Some of the most good-looking men, and you know what? It happens with men and women. Very attractive men and very attractive women, a lot of times they are so narcissistic. That's what we have noticed from my own experience. This isn't my assumption or no hearsay or what somebody else's thing. No, I'm telling you my own, what I witnessed with my own two eyes, what I've experienced with my own in life, from my own situations, the situations with friends that I've seen, even male friends that was in relationship with very narcissistic females, and the females very attractive, very good looking, very nice physique, got it going on for themselves, but their mindset is so corrupt. Come on over. Their mindset is really corrupt, and they don't, they know it, and they use reverse psychology. They like to self-victimize themselves. They like to, and then they like to also navigate, or they want to, what's the word that I'm looking for? They want to dictate to you how you get through the hurt that they have caused you. It's like they want to, it's a word that I'm looking for. They want to, I can't think of the word right now, but they want to pretty much control it. It's like they're very controlling as well. And they do it in real slick ways where it's not so obvious to other people, but because you with them and you have that kind of relationship with them, you see things that other people are not going to see about them because they're not in an intimate relationship with them. So, they want to, try to control how you grieve. And if you don't grieve in a way that they feel like you should grieve, then they get upset at you. Like, how you gonna get upset at me for grieving the way that me grieve? You know, we have the right to grieve to have me grieve. You don't have the right to tell me how to grieve and how to deal with the hurt and pain that you have caused me, and how you have treated me, the abuse that you bestowed upon me. You know, facilitate, that's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. They try to facilitate how you cope and how you deal with their abuse, their abusive behaviors, and their narcissistic behaviors. And when they can't facilitate it, then they want to say you're difficult, or you're not trying to work with them, or you're trying to, and they use that as an excuse to continue on being that way and say, well, this is why I'm like this towards you. See, this is, you know, they try to play the victim. It's kind of like, we know who Lil Baby, how he did his, the baby, sorry, not Lil Baby, the baby, not Lil Baby, the baby, how he did his, the mother of his child and stuff, you know. But see, and they're quick to call the cops too. They'll do that. Like, they'll cause the problems, they'll create the situation, and when you finally had enough and you step on them, then they want to call the cops. And my ex did that. He called the cops on me because I caught him, you know, cheating and stuff. And so he tried to play victim and try to act like he was the one that was being, that I was being the villain, like I was the bad guy, you know. And that wasn't the case, but that's what they do. And so, you know, I went through a lot with that. And so I you know, dealing with that kind of hurt and that kind of pain and that kind of narcissism. And then, you know, my mom, my own health, my mom's health, my son's health, you know, because my son, he ended up, you know, having a full-blown seizure in the hospital and stuff, because he internalized. That's what I'm saying. You don't internalize your hurt. Don't internalize your grief. Don't internalize it, because the way it reflected out on my son, he ended up having a full-blown seizure. You know, and I wish he didn't have the seizure, but he did have the seizure. So, you know how that goes. But that's why we say holding in grief and stuff, it can have a negative effect. It can really harm you. So don't be worried about people who want to dictate to you or try to make you feel bad because of the way you grieve. You know, you grieve and you cope how you can, because you know what'll work for you. But I will say, don't allow yourself to go into a state of depression where you are clinically depressed. That's easier said than done, because it can suddenly happen. Sorry, y'all, but it could suddenly happen, because it suddenly happened to me, and it caught me completely off guard. But I was grieving so badly that became clinically depressed, and I was throwing up. I couldn't eat. Everything made me sick. I was shaking, hyperventilating, having so much anxiety that I couldn't sleep. Yeah.